In this lesson, we're going to talk about humidifiers. When air is heated, it can absorb more water vapor, and humans are comfortable at about 35 to 45% relative humidity. When the air at 30 degrees Fahrenheit and 90% relative humidity is heated to 72 degrees, the relative humidity drops to about 18%. This is why we feel much drier during the heating season than we do in the summer. A dry atmosphere can cause dry skin and breathing dryness. Also, a loss of moisture from hygroscopic materials occur. Wood will crack, furniture joints will loosen, and static electricity will increase. The typical indoor moisture sources include plumbing devices, cooking, and perspiration. Humidifiers can add water vapor to this air. If the air returned to a warm furnace is about 60 degrees Fahrenheit and 25% relative humidity, the furnace heats the air to 140 degrees, and a humidifier can add moisture to this warmed air. In this chart here, this is a psychrometric chart. A to B indicates the air being heated. B to C shows the warm air passing over the humidifier. Between C and A, heated and dehumidified air is mixed. D indicates the final condition of the air delivered to this conditioned space. It requires about 100 BTUs to vaporize each pound of water. Most humidifiers in the warm air systems are part of the furnace ductwork. The operating principle of a humidifier is that the water supply comes in, the dry air comes in one side of the pad, air and pure water vapor out. All hard mineral deposits are carried off by the drain hose. Evaporation takes place as the heated air passes through the evaporator pad. The pad is wetted by water metered through a solenoid valve. Water is not evaporated, flows to the bottom of the humidifier and is drained out. Humidified air is returned to the heating system and enters the living area. In this unit, it has a small fan motor and a solenoid water valve. The humidifiers use a vibrating object sometimes to atomize the water. The vibrating object can be a crystal that operates at a high frequency of about 100 kilohertz. That's 100,000 cycles per second. The unit produces moist air that feels cool on contact. Partially evaporated droplets are vaporized on contact with the warmer objects such as skin. Humidifiers can easily be added to warm air heating systems. Separate cabinet type humidifiers are needed with some heating systems such as hydronic heating, steam heating, and most electric heating systems. There's a couple different types of humidifiers. We have a plate type, that's a low capacity. You have rotating drum type for restricted spaces. You might have a rotating disc. You might have a fixed filter. We might have fan types. We might have plenum and warm air duct types. And we might have duct electric types and ultrasonic types. The humidistat is used in a humidifier to control the level of relative humidity. Too much humidity causes swelling of wood products and condensation on cold surfaces such as windows and window frames and doors. Water vapor may condense on the inner surfaces of outside walls. Excessive humidity should be avoided as mold and rot may occur at 70%. If the outside air at 90% relative humidity is heated to 72 degrees, we have a relative humidity of 19 degrees. If RH starts at 100% and the air is 30 degrees Fahrenheit, 20.7 will be at 72 degrees. The tightness of a building and the number of air changes affect moisture in the building. A tight building might have 0.5 air changes per hour. An average building has 1 air change per hour. An average loose building has 1.5 air changes per hour, and a loose building has 2 air changes an hour. City or well water contains various types of foreign matter. If the water used in the humidifier, it must be first treated. Distilled water is best for a humidifier. It adds no foreign vapors to the air and leaves no deposit on the humidifier or duct system. Quality of water varies with sources. Soft water is natural or untreated water, rainwater with a low mineral contact, and has about 5 grains of hardness per gallon and no chlorides. Softened water is treated by an ion exchange process, a water softener, to remove hardness and minerals. Unwanted mineral ions are replaced with water-soluble sodium salts. Demineralized water is treated to remove the minerals. Medium or hard water, like well water, is untreated water with 5 to 15 grains per gallon mineral content. Very hard water is untreated water with over 15 grains per gallon of mineral content. It can be tested with green soap. Green soap will not form suds in water with 10 grains per gallon or more of minerals. Most heating buildings in temperature zones need humidifiers during the winter season. Electric humidifiers are used by buildings with steam, hydronic, or warm air heating equipment. Advantages of electric humidifiers are ease of installation, flexibility of location, and accurate relative humidity control. This is an example of an electric humidifier that's designed for use in a duct or plenum chamber. It has a 1400 watt electric heating coil controlled by an adjustable humidistat. If the relative humidity is too high, a dehumidifier may be needed. Sources of water vapors in buildings can include cooking, wash basins, lavatories, respiration, perspiration, laundry, showers and bathing, houseplants, and pets. The cabinet-type humidifiers usually consist of a large wheel or drum with a rim made of porous material. A humidistat controls the fan motor that drives this large wheel. The wheel is wetted as it dips into the water reservoir. Air flows through the wet rim and most of the moisture elements, adding moisture to the air. Some units have an electric heater to warm the outlet air. The water reservoir is manually filled. A float-operated switch turns on a signal light when the water level is low, and the water tank and wheel rim can be easily removed and cleaned. To service and install humidifiers, mount the water reservoir so it's level. The capacity should be adequate to add enough moisture to the building at design conditions. Water feed lines should be tapped into a cold water line, and the overflow drain tube or bleeder tube should slant down all the way to the outlet. The outlet should be at least 1 inch above the open drain. The electric system can be a low voltage and controlled by a humidistat or relay, or the control can be provided by a 120 volt humidistat. Electrical installation should follow all electrical codes, and a grounded receptacle is required. After installation, turn on the water and electricity and check for proper operation. Check monthly during operation for bacterial growth and scale buildup. Use water treatment compounds as needed, and be careful on their use. Some people are allergic. Always follow manufacturer's directions and check out the manufacturer's technical specs before installing a humidifier.